Welcome, everyone, to the director's commentary for Not Alone, the third installment of the Witching Season web series. I am James Morris. I wrote and directed the episode and then conceived the original concept with series creator Michael Balliff. So I'm going to talk a little bit about kind of what went into the process of making the episode and kind of how it originated, because originally this was not even going to be an episode. This kind of came out of nowhere. We were talking one evening about a month or two after Princess was released, and we were trying to decide what was next, and Michael had an episode in mind for what he wanted to do, but the scale was pretty big, and we realized if we started on this, we weren't going to have a third episode out for months. And so I suggested that maybe we just come up with a simpler concept that could still be a solid episode and just jump on it right away. And before we left our meeting that evening, we had a rough concept of what the episode was going to be. Now, this opening sequence is Michael's signature on the film, so to speak. He wanted it to fit in with the other two episodes in the sense of having the Halloween atmosphere and everything. And so we kind of talked about different ways to do that and decided on decking out this house. Even though this was nowhere near Halloween, it ended up working fine. And we took some leaves that we'd saved from other episodes and actually scattered it all over the lawn and got the wind going and the smoke machine, and it actually, once again, looks like the season itself. And yeah, no one with my voice would ever have his own radio show. I'm well aware of this. So I am under no illusion that I have a radio voice. Now, fun little fact, this room that this movie takes place in is actually the same room where the twist is revealed in Killer and the Loose, the bedroom where the body is found. And we changed it all around, put up new furniture, put up some drywall. We rebuilt the entire room to look completely different. So that's a little fun tidbit there for you. And this film stars my good friend Shawn Hunter. Shawn and I met back in high school, and he was always a better actor than me. And I remember because whenever we would have auditions for school plays, he and I would always try out for the lead parts. And Shawn would always get the lead parts, and I'd always get a supporting role. And it really pissed me off at the time, but I respected Shawn, and we've been friends ever since. So this is shot in the second story of producer Alan Bradford's house. And so he was hanging outside the window by his underwear with a big light shining that through the window, and we got that to work perfectly. Now, this next image, when the creature is first revealed, this is the entire basis for this episode. We came up with this idea of somebody waking up in a room and just seeing this black mass in the corner with the outline of a humanoid kind of form, really menacing with these long fingers. And I actually built those the alien fingers. I built them out of construction paper and tape and black spray paint, and they were originally just going to be for the test, for the screen test. We were going to build prosthetics for the reel, but because it was so dark, the fingers actually ended up being perfect. They cast the right shadows and everything, and we were able to just use them. It was really fun to work with Shawn in this. He's a lot of fun once you get him in his comfort zone. You can just kind of point him in a direction, tell him to go, and he just goes. He's got a great face on him, and his eyes are really receptive, and he just captured the intensity of the scene so well. We didn't have to shoot this too many times, I don't think. This scene right here was such a pain in the ass to edit. The timing, I couldn't get it to work right, and Michael came over and worked on it with me. We were able to get it really, really smooth, and it was a lot better after he came over and helped us on this. But a couple of those shots of the light switch were actually shot in our test sequence, and we ended up using them over. That was kind of a one-take shot too, because we busted up that coat rack pretty bad. Now, because this was a shorter episode than Princess and Killer on the Loose, which were both, 15 minutes, give or take, I felt that we couldn't just have a rise, and then a climax. I needed something to break the tension. And so this sequence is kind of how I decided to push the scare factor back a little bit and just kind of let the audience calm down. And the reception has been pretty good on it so far. One thing I was really careful with on this one is I wanted this one to be a night and day difference from Princess. For example, if you saw Princess and then watched this one right after it and didn't know that I had directed them, I didn't want you to know that it was the same director. I wanted them to be unique enough and different enough in feel that they stood on their own without any obvious connection. And this ending shot, the attack sequence, we tried to figure this out a few ways. We had some, originally we were going to try to do some digital stuff, and then we played around with shadows, and eventually we landed on this concept, and it worked so well. Just like, what the hell is that? And then it's revealed to be this disgusting, gurgling, bubbling alien. And it is not being gentle with Shawn right now. And this scene took quite a bit of time to shoot as well, so Shawn just had to sit there with an alien straddling him for a good hour and a half. And I love that shot that the blanket drops down. That was Michael's idea. And the voice of the general on the radio show is a good friend of mine, Nathan Smith-Jones, who's a great filmmaker and a mentor of mine for many years. He actually taught me screenwriting back when I was in high school at East Hollywood High. He taught a course on screenwriting, and I've worked with him on several projects, including some of his own films. But he's got such a great voice, and I really wanted to have him in that. And in Princess, in that funny movie that the couple's watching, he's actually the creepy therapist, if you've seen the other episode. But so anyway, there you go. That's kind of a summary of how it all went down, and my thoughts on the film. Once again, Randon did a fantastic job, and everyone involved, Jordan, Alan, Parker, Michael, and my little brother Sam, who played the creature and had such a great physique about him and just very eerie and tall, and it worked really well. And of course, Sadie always does a fantastic job with everything she oversees. So much more to come from the witching season. I hope you enjoyed the commentary. And from all of us here, thank you for taking the time to support us and to watch our films, because you guys are the reason that we keep doing this, and it reminds us why we love it so much. Thank you.